history and legends of the Banff Springs Hotel. In the late 1800s, William Cornelius Van Horn was the general manager of Canadian Pacific Railway. He had been playing around with the idea to construct a grand hotel in the Rockies alongside the railway. During this time, there were a few employees who had stumbled upon mineral springs in 1883. He had decided then to jump at the opportunity to start bringing his idea of the most luxurious grand hotel to life. With the help of architect Bruce Price at the head of the design team, they had started putting his massive project into motion. It started in Banff, Alberta, Canada from beginning to end. The construction was finished by 1886 and the doors were open to all guests. From then to the 1920s, there were several upgrades to the hotel, including an 11-story tower, though it would all come apart due to a fire that had decimated the hotel in 1926. It was then John W. Orrock, an engineer with Canadian Pacific Railway, had taken on the full restoration of the hotel. After the hotel had breezed through the Great Depression, it had received the attention and the presence of many. The highlight being the visit of Queen Elizabeth and King George V during their royal tour of Canada in 1939. 3 short years later, during World War II, due to lack of tourism and labor, they ended up closing their doors until 1945 when the war had finally come to an end. After the reopening, it was a bit of a struggle to get back to what it once was. They had made changes to the hotel throughout that time to accommodate. Then in the 1970s, they made the decision to stay open year-round, including winter activities to attract guests. Then we come to the 90s. The man who nicknamed the hotel, the Castle in the Rockies, Ted Cassane, became the new manager. He had made several renovations and expansions to include the Banff Springs Conference Center. In 1999, the Canadian Pacific Hotels merged the brand with Fairmont Hotels, where in 2001 the hotel was to be renamed Fairmont Banff Springs. Later in 2006, 7 of the Fairmont hotels, including the Fairmont Banff Springs, were sold to Oxford Properties. Though it was sold, Fairmont Hotels and Resorts still managed the resort after the sale of the property. There were several celebrities and high-profile figures to visit the hotel along its journey, to include Robert Mitchum, Joe DiMaggio, King Edward VIII, golf champion Gene Sarazen, Princess Patricia of Connaught, golf champion Bobby Locke, and of course Marilyn Monroe. Now we get to the legends of the hotel. Number 1. Sam the Bellman. Sam Macaulay, or Sam the Bellman, had claimed before his death in 1976 that he loved the hotel so much he would haunt it. To many guests, they believe it's true. It's been reported that guests have seen an elderly man in an old uniform helping with luggage, helping people that were locked out of their rooms get back in, or even to do wake-up calls. Once they'd go to hand him a tip, he's nowhere to be found. Number 2. The Tale of the Phantom Bride. As the story goes, in the early 1930s, a newlywed couple were having a banquet at the hotel. As the husband stood on top of the stairs where they were to proceed to the Cascade Ballroom, the bride was walking up the stairs to her husband when her gown had brushed the candle that was lining the staircase and caught fire. In the panic, she fell down the marble staircase and broke her neck. To this day, there are reports of a ghostly woman dancing alone in the ballroom, or even being seen walking up the very same stairs that killed her. Number 3. Room 873. As the story goes, a man with his wife and daughter had rented room 873. During their stay in the room, the man had murdered his wife and daughter, then ended it by killing himself. Guests that reported on many occasions hearing violent shrieking in the middle of the night. When the lights were turned on, nothing was there. Maids would also report that while cleaning, they would often find bloody prints on the walls and the bathroom mirror that could not be washed off. After numerous reports, management had decided to seal the room off permanently. So whether you want to go for scenery, the architecture, or even the ghost hunting, this hotel seems to have it all. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.